John Day from Bedford Rotary Club in the studio to talk to us about the Rotary Club today. Welcome, John.
Thank you, TJ. It's wonderful to be here.
Please, John, tell our listeners about yourselves.
About the Bedford Rotary Club?
No, about you.
About me? Oh, well, I've lived in Bedford 44 years. I'm a retired engineer. My hobbies are working on old cars, specifically MGs, and I'm currently the president of the MG Car Club. Is that enough for you?
MG. From my knowledge of cars, they had an absence for a period before returning back to the market.
This is true. The MG company has been in several places throughout the country. Started in Oxford, went to Abingdon, where it was for 50 years. Then it looked like it was dead. It was closed down. It resurrected itself again out of Birmingham, and currently it's now in the ownership of the Chinese.
Oh, so now the Chinese have it?
Yeah, they've had it since about 2004, and they took the whole production out of Birmingham and started making the cars in China, in Shanghai. But they've still got a presence at Longbridge. They're making MGs by putting them together as kits, if you like.
Oh, so kit cars.
I have heard that one before, but they're definitely not kit cars.
Would you say there's been a great difference between when it was built in the UK and now that it's gone over to China, Shanghai?
Yes. I think the biggest change is that the Chinese, obviously, they're an emerging market. They're interested in saloon cars. They want a reliable, economical cars. They do not understand the concept of why you would want a two-seater sports car. They want a car that takes everybody in the family and probably the livestock as well.
Too funny. Okay, what is the Rotary Club about?
That's a very good question to answer very quickly. It's about the community, and people like myself and anybody really that's in the community can join Rotary, and it's a club for all professions, and the whole point about it is to try and do good in the world and create ethical standards for our members so that we have a code of practice to work to in whatever we do in life.
How long have you been a serving member of the Rotary Club?
Yeah, it all started about a year ago, just over a year ago. I went along, would you believe, to do a talk. They have a weekly meeting in Bedford, and it's a same format every week, a 15-minute talk, followed by, after a short lunch. And I was asked to speak about, of all things, of course, MG. And I gave my talk, and it went very well. I enjoyed it, and the members were extremely pleasant. And when I got home, my wife said, "How did it go?" I said, "It was great." I said, "It was like being amongst friends I've known for years." And shortly afterwards, I was asked if I would like to join. And I've been a member, well, March the 2nd last year, I was officially joined the club, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it ever since.
By any chance, do you know about the history of the Rotary Club?
Yeah, the Rotary Club was started by a man called Paul Harris in 1913. It was a very long time ago.
Wow.
In America. And he thought it was a good idea to have a club in Chicago for like-minded people in business, and from that tiny little group it rapidly grew throughout America, and now it's known, of course, as Rotary International, because it is an international organisation with presence in there are Rotary clubs in every continent throughout the world, with 1.2 million members.
Wow. What is the main purpose of the Rotary Club? I know you said it's about serving the community, but in what way does it serve the community?
In many, many ways. It's both of charity, supporting charities, local charities, especially in the local group, because you don't have to go very far before you'll find another Rotary Club in Cambridge and Luton and so on. So what we do at Bedford Rotary Club is all local. We try to help, for instance, young people, especially disadvantaged young people. If they're having a bad start in life, there's various things that the Rotary Club support both practically and financially. For example, practical aspect might be helping young people to write a CV or prepare themselves for a job interview, something that they might not have had any experience in, but our members feel that they can, if you like, put their arm around them and guide them in how the best way to go about a job interview. This is a practical thing, but there are so many different ways that the Rotary Club help in the area. Everything from raising funds for the Bedford Hospital for a scanner recently, and of course on a much broader scale, the whole policy of the club is to eradicate polio throughout the world, and this is very nearly, certainly in India, there hasn't been a recorded case of polio for over a year. And the thing about Rotary, it doesn't do things noisily. It's very quietly in the background, and some would say within our clubs that we don't do enough to promote ourselves. And this is an ideal opportunity to perhaps share with the local community here that the Rotary Club is there. It's been there for 90 years, and we are doing a lot in the background to help a lot of people.
I hear that you engage with young people in helping them to write CVs, helping them do mock interviews. Is there any other ways that you engage with young people?
Yes, bear in mind I've only been in this local group for a year, and I've got my old plates on just like anybody else that's just started any organisation. But I've been amazed really about almost every week, every meeting that we have, somebody comes along to talk to us, and it usually starts with some comment like, "I know this club very well. You helped us so long ago in the past," and so on, and it's just a fantastic network of people that can help young people and anybody really that's disadvantaged, or any charity. We don't have any focus on any particular area, but I mean, just one example, there's a group called Youth Speaks, which is to help young people be able to speak in public. This is a skill that quite often isn't taught in secondary schools, and it is a skill that everybody needs at some point, whether it's just to convince your better half that you need to change the car. This is making a presentation, you understand.
I fully agree with that. Public speaking skills is really needed. I'm part of a social action campaign where we get young people in lower sixth and we teach them soft skills, and one of the soft skills is public speaking skills and presenting yourself. So I fully agree that it is something that's really needed in today's society. Would it be possible for you to tell us, within your year of occupying the position as a Rotarian, what has been some of the causes that you've supported?
Off the top of my head, the Bedford scanner appeal was a very big one.
Yeah.
We were in association with another group, but that's been a very important function for the Bedford Rotary. But every week there are small donations made to charities, people that come to speak to us. The River Festival, that's another big area of the Rotary Club. The River Festival was started out from the Rotary with a biennial march through the town, parade through the town, which has become this huge thing we know as the River Festival now. That's a Bedford Rotary inspired thing. So last July, when we had the last River Festival, this was an area where, of course, the Rotary was making a huge impact in the local community.
Brilliant. How can residents and organisations acquire help and support from yourselves?
We have a local website, bedfordrotary.co.uk. There's a lot of information which you can pick up about some of the things I've been saying, but of course the history of the local club and how to contact people, either through the website or by phone, and just go online and talk about your particular problem. It might be just a single person problem that somebody needs a bit of help. It might be that they want a little bit of cash. They might want physical help from a neighbour to help them do the shopping. This is the sort of thing you need to make contact with the local Rotary Club officials, and we'll take it from there.
I want to ask you 3 more questions.
Only 3, right?
Only 3, no more than 3 for now. First question is the question of both of our questions of the day, which the first one is, given that there's 8,760 hours in a year, what would you prefer? More days, less hours, or more hours, less days?
Okay. As somebody that has never had enough time in my life, I'm always rushing from one thing to another. There just doesn't seem to be enough time to fit it all. I don't know what the word boredom means, by the way. It is. I would go for more days, I think.
More days.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on the embankment redevelopment?
It's an interesting area, this, isn't it? It's certainly caught the imagination. What is being promoted, the idea of what's going to be put there, has caught the imagination, I think, of the local community in a way that probably not other projects haven't. And it's interesting to reason why that could be. I think it's possibly the river is, Bedford is the river, isn't it? You know what?
Yeah.
It's one of our jewels. The thing that people will remember if they come to visit Bedford is the river.
Yeah.
And anything that might change its character is quite close to people's heart if they've lived in Bedford any length of time. So it's emotional as well, isn't it? You see this thing, you see a drawing of what's going to go up, and you think to yourself, hey, this is really going to spoil the river. So you've got to separate out emotion from fact. I think that worries me, and it certainly worries a lot of other people, is the content of what's being built. Do we need some of the things like the hotel? Do we need the hotel in Bedford? Has the demographics been done? Is there a shortage of rooms in Bedford that we need another hotel? But it's the appearance, I think, that's caught the emotional thread at the moment. And my view is that I don't like the look of what's there so far.
Thank you very much, John. Is there anything you'd like to leave the listeners with today about yourself or the Rotary Club?
Yeah, Rotary Club definitely has the image of being an old man's club, and I've got to be honest and say that the average age of our club is 72. But age is a number. Age is a number, and it's what's in your heart, isn't it, that matters.
Yeah.
And we like to think we're all very young in heart, and we had a fantastic evening recently, which was my first social evening with them, where we put on all sorts of theatrical events, and I don't think I've laughed or had so much fun in years and years and years. So I'd leave the thought with your listeners that please change your thinking about Rotary and think of it as your local community group where we have fun helping other people.
Thank you very much. Once again, could you confirm the website for our listeners?
Yes, it's if you Google Rotary Bedford, you will get all the details you want.
Thank you very much, and that was an interview with John Day from the Bedford Rotary Club.